Hi everyone, this is Lee Perry and I am interviewing my very good friend, the Executive Director of Las Semillas, Seven. Hi Seven, how you doing?
All right.
He's smiling because I always pronounce it wrong because I have a little bit of a lisp. But anyway, how you doing today?
I'm really cool. Yeah, I'm all right.
It's a little chilly. So we're standing out here by this beautiful mural and we took a little tour of your other mural project. Maybe tell us a little bit about your mission here in Pine Hills and what you do.
So I don't even really think I have a good definition for what I'm trying to do. I'm doing a project that I think will be inclusive to all the different people in Pine Hills. There's like a lot of ways that I tried to explain it, and none of it really made sense. So for the most part, I've just been telling people, it's an experiment on love and an experiment on community.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, obviously you started this because you saw that there was a need in the community, right? So maybe tell us a little bit about growing up here and what you saw was a need.
So being born and raised here, I kind of got a taste of what people thought about us. I got a taste of how my neighbors and peers felt about me. Just from their example, I got a sense of how to build community, how to sacrifice for something that you believe in.
Okay, so growing up in Pine Hills, you started working really young. I remember you told me about that, and you started boxing, and boxing was kind of like a vessel for you to get more engaged in your community. Maybe tell us a little bit about that story.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't say that boxing got me more involved with community. For the most part, it did give me a community to kind of belong to. Gave me kind of like a safe haven to express myself, to build my own confidence, and to find my identity.
That's awesome. So I know that you said that you had some run-ins at school when you were growing up here. Maybe talk a little bit about your experience going to school here in Pine Hills.
Oh, well, yeah. So, it's interesting. I started at Hiawassee Elementary. Got put in, kind of the ESOL classes because, I'm Haitian American and I didn't speak much. So, my first experiences were, easygoing for the most part. I guess it was probably around like middle school when I started becoming kind of disaffected with being in school because, I felt like a few teachers or whatnot didn't really care for, me being in their class or whatever. And it didn't take much for me to feel uncomfortable. And once I started feeling uncomfortable, I didn't really want to go to class. From there, it started to become, easy to be a target. At my school around probably 2003, 2004, they started kicking out a lot of kids for, whatever offenses that they could. And, that was kind of my first time being kicked out of school was at Robbinswood Middle School, and it was a different experience. I had to catch a bus to go to a school probably 7-8 miles away from my home. That's something that I was used to, and going to those alternative schools where kids have to go through the metal detectors. We don't really use too many books. Education's kind of second to fixing the character of the kids and stuff like that. It's just a different environment, and that all kind of went into my educational journey. I kind of learned a lot about the educational system and not just the educational system, but kind of my place within the educational system. It felt like they're kind of just tossing me to the side, trying to push me out of the way. I was like an inconvenience to, the schools or whatnot. That definitely played on my psyche about, the value of, who I was as a person, as a resident, etc. So, I've had a few experiences with like alternative schools and public schools. Probably been kicked out probably 3 or 4 times. And yeah, after the first time, it just kept getting easier to get kicked out. So it just matters how my relationship with the teachers, how I would go, how the year would go for me. So I would go from like having a 4.0 or a 3 point something to like having a 0.0 or 1.0 at any given year, and yeah, it was real easy for that to happen. And just experiencing that, kind of gave you a different perspective of the educational system altogether.
Yeah. So I find that so interesting because knowing you now and knowing what you do right now, you are helping kids that probably feel disenfranchised, that feel like they're being pushed aside or that they don't really matter. You're helping them be seen. You're helping them transform a lot of their maybe sadness or pain into beautiful pieces of artwork. I'm really excited to talk more about your start in where you are today. So I think you mentioned that you started organizing the community around 2020.
Yeah, I guess I'll probably say maybe like 2019. I started with like I don't know if I could call it disability rights groups, but I was diagnosed on the autism spectrum, and just learning more about their rights and stuff that they were fighting for. I kind of joined groups on like UCF, Valencia campus, that had to deal with those types of rights. Yeah, from there, it kind of got me thinking more about, kids like me who might have issues in classrooms or whatever, because, we're not getting the proper or the adequate help that we need to succeed in different classrooms. And just organizing with them, I kind of just grew kind of a love for organizing. It's just like art, you're just creating something out of nothing.
Right.
Yeah. And I guess in 2020, I had a few friends who were organizing protests and whatnot, and it was a lot of work. So I was happy to lend a hand and be a part of that rallying cry in 2020.
Yeah. So in 2020, the Black Lives Matter movement start happening here. Was there already a March for Our Lives in Pine Hills? Because I know that's kind of where that's what you were working on when I met you.
Oh, no, there wasn't. I think I started a chapter late in 2020.
Why did you feel you had to start a chapter from zero for March for Our Lives here?
Just for more representation, especially for youth. They don't feel like they have. There's a lot of issues that they are probably very passionate about, but they didn't feel like they have a place to talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, so Black Lives Matter movements happen. You're organizing people to march. What was that like in the community here?
For the most part, we would have marches downtown, where City Hall is. We try to keep, for the most part, all the pressure down there.
Yeah.
And in that area, it was an interesting experience, seeing all those different types of people, different types of different political ideologies come together for one cause. So it was an interesting thing to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was it received well from the community here when you were marching and getting on the news and representing Pine Hills?
I don't think I was probably on the news for it, but for the most part, I see a lot of people who I know from down here. Yeah, I took a lot of trips with people from down here to downtown. So, I can't speak for everyone, but I know there's a lot of people in Pine Hills who really cared about those issues that were being talked about.
Yeah. Well, what did the Black Lives Matter movement feel like just as a man of color and knowing that a lot of the people who were violently killed were men of color? Like, how do you feel about that? How did that make you feel being your age and knowing that that's a rising statistic in this country?
Yeah. For me, it definitely is bewildering. It's something you've lived with for a long time. If you're a person of color, For a long time when I was younger, I wasn't sure if I'd make it past 25. A lot of people I know, they didn't make it past, and probably even a lot of heroes that I had didn't make it past 25. So it's like a question mark. And it's a similar feeling that just it doesn't really go away, but you find a way to pay attention to other things.
So how did you meet the pastor of New Life Church?
Actually, I seen him on the news. He was talking about how we can help our community and the protests going on as well. So I actually just Googled his name and called him, and he has all the space here. So I let him know, I know a lot of programs and a lot of people in Pine Hills who could use the space to help in the issues that he's talking about.
So then, was that how your organization was born? Maybe talk about that initiation.
Yes, kind of. It was kind of an organization before. We were just gonna do like flower bombs at different spaces as a beautification project, but it's a lot of different things now. But this definitely helped bring it to life. It's not fully up and running yet, but it's there.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the mural project.
So it took about 2 years. It was just something I thought, needed to be done. One day I just, went up and spoke to the owner of the business over there, and, he just let me know that all I would have to do was get permission for it. So, I kind of called Commissioner Siplin's office, got permission, asked them everything that I need to do to be able to do this legally. And 2 weeks from then we started. I wanted to get a pressure wash. We didn't get a pressure wash because it cost too much. I just went out there with my dad's old scraper, and I scraped all of it. And
oh my God, that must have been crazy for your back.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience. I thought that'd be the worst part of it, but it was just one part of it. But it was an experience.
Yeah. So here you are scraping this wall. You don't know what's to come, but you're getting ready to paint it. How did you get the community to get so involved and the kids?
I think when they see me starting to paint it, and the different artists coming out every day, everyone was really interested. Every day people would come out, honk at us, come support, try to buy us food, etc. It was real cool.
Oh, that's great. So you painted this mural and you let kids have different sections of the mural, and you're helping to coach them and sketch with them and perform this awesome act of poetry through art right in the middle of your community, and really representing your community, specifically since you've chosen heroes to represent on the wall from this community.
Yeah.
Was that the original goal?
The original goal was just to paint something that reflected more of the people within the community, because, a dilapidated wall, I didn't think reflected us at all.
Right. So then what ended up happening?
We started with about 20 artists. We got some pushback from, I want to say local developers. I'm not completely sure their title or whatever. They weren't too excited about what we were painting. They wanted us to paint something else. They told us we didn't paint it. They'd get the wall knocked down or whatever. That's in the process of happening as well. After the pushback from those people, I guess, who represent some Pine Hills leadership or whatever, some of the artists dropped out, and I just kind of figured out how to progress from there. But yeah, we didn't quit. We just kept going, and 2 years later, we kind of finished. We didn't really finish, but we did the best that we could with the resources that we could. We spent a lot of money. A lot of people from the community came and donated paint, food, whatever that they could, and it was a great experience. And I'm hoping for more projects in the same vein.
Where did the money come from?
Mostly me, school loans, and people who donated.
Wow.
the other artists as well.
So you took out this project meant so much to you, organizing the kids to have something really fun and productive and healthy to do in the community that represented the community, to beautify your community. And you took out a student loan to fund it?
Yeah.
That's really incredible. That's a really beautiful story. Maybe tell me a little bit now about where you hope to see your organization go and the other after-school projects that you're helping to organize here.
I'm hoping, just to build coalitions with more people within Pine Hills who want to do similar work. And I'm hoping to get, more hands involved. I'm hoping one day to give it to another kid in Pine Hills. Hopefully in the future it's led by, it continues to be led by youth in Pine Hills. I have probably just a few more years before I'm not considered youth anymore. I'm hoping it'd be led by youth. Hopefully a Black woman is leading this. And the vision for it continues. Yeah.
So right now, after school, you're helping to organize and bring different teachers together. You're doing mentorship programs. You're doing cheerleading. You're doing soccer. You're doing boxing.
Yeah.
Art club. Book club. Did I leave anything out?
A few things, but yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on.
You're doing drum circles here. I've never seen a drum circle here in Orange County. You're doing drum circles of all ages. People of all ages come. They bring their own drums. You have drums that you supply to bring music and rhythm to the community. You're doing a vegan picnic where you have different vendors that sell art and all these awesome jewels and jewelry and all these cool sculptures. And then you also have like vegan food trucks. Like, tell us a little bit about how that all started.
I definitely feel like there's a need to have like more community events and whatnot. So we've been doing 2 to 3 community events every month, just to have a common ground, a common place where people can come and talk about important issues as well. Food insecurity, and as well as equity. It's a big thing here. I do the vegan events so that anyone who is interested in different kinds of diets and different ways of not just eating but thinking, they can come out and kind of celebrate our culture and different ways we support each other.
That's beautiful. And now, just to make it all come together, you're working full-time as a teacher at the school that you went to, right?
I didn't go to that school.
Okay, you didn't go to that school. I wasn't sure.
It's an alternative school like the ones that I used to go to.
Okay.
And, I see myself every day. A lot of the traumas that I still think about. I still see the metal detectors and all that stuff. A lot of kids with disabilities, probably undiagnosed and stuff like that. They're sent to those schools as well. So just being an empathetic teacher, younger teacher, it's a cool thing for them to have, I guess.
I mean, you're inspiring so many people. I don't even think you know that you might be changing people's lives forever and helping kids that have a similar upbringing to you. Like, look at you and see all the cool things that you're doing in the community and feel like they can be seen and help other people be seen. And then history will just repeat itself.
Hopefully.
You don't give yourself anywhere near as much credit. You deserve so much, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking this time to share your mission and share what you're about. And I'm just really, really grateful that there's a community hero like you here.
Yeah, so I learned from that project, that regardless of what I do, people in Pine Hills are probably going to support me. And, the power of art can, bring us together. Art is everything. And, whatever we really want to do, we can create through action. That's kind of what that art wall was. Before it was something dilapidated, now it's something that we're proud of. And, all we have to do now is, just act on what we're thinking. My name is Seven Charlestin, and I'm the executive director of Las Semillas. You guys can contact me through email, 7c at seedsofpinehills.org, or you can catch me on Instagram, Las_Semillas, SEMILLAS _20 on Instagram. And yeah, thank you.